Madison Mogen, Madison Mogen, Madison Mogen. Present and future, visible and invisible, for we want to know. And we want to know, was she in the room with Kaylee? Was Jake involved with the murders? Did Madison call Jack? Did she see anything during the what?
The murder?
Yeah, during the time?
During the murder.
During the time of the murder. Okay, I couldn't see that word. Yeah. During the time of the murder. Okay. And then for what's hidden and hidden behind darkness, and the God of the Saints will reveal the answers to our questions. Here we go. All right, here we go. First two coming out for Madison. Oh, shit. That's interesting. It's going that way. So it says a relationship with no problems. And then it says, but things were delayed. Talking about the relationship, didn't think it was going to be a problem, but then things were delayed. Like maybe she thought they were going to get back together. Maybe she thought something was going to happen. I don't know why she's saying that. I don't know if she was with Jake at the time or not, but we know that Jake was her boyfriend, right? We know that. So we don't know if they were still together, they weren't together. Maybe she's talking about that. It talks about home, that they were at home, which is interesting. And then it says, no more past. And then it says, interesting. It says something came to an end. And then it says, not happy about it. And then we're going to go up the ladder here. And it says, there are things here that are incomplete. And then this says, but the road is wide open. And there's a sword that they were wide open. And then it talks about things that didn't work out. And it says, and no fortune. A lot of upside down cards. It says, no sunshine. No more burden. Here we go. Here comes with all the no's. No more celebration. And this is usually what happens when people pass. And then it talks about her and the crossing of that, which is really interesting. So when people start talking about no more this, no more that, that's when you know. I mean, this is upside down. This is brought to an end. So an end would be now. It's ended. It's over. But it did talk about something in the house. So let's go into the card. Let's dig into this. I mean, this is something that I think between all of us, because everybody's input has a different way they view things. And I think when we start really getting into it together, I feel the energy of everybody, and it kind of keeps pushing me along the same way. So don't be afraid to participate. If you have questions or things you want to say, don't worry. Just jump on in there. All right, here we go. It says discontent. Somebody was discontent. So it talks about a relationship, and it says, and thought it wasn't going to be a problem. Like it wasn't going to be bigger than what it was. Here we go.
Same as the last.
It's going down the same fucking road that we went down the last time. Excuse my language, but it definitely is. It's going down the same road. It's saying discontent, because here's the relationship, and it says, I thought it wasn't going to be a problem. That relationship wasn't going to be a problem. It says discontent. It says, but the road, in other words, this is saying, but did what they wanted to do. Discontent, they did what they wanted to do. It says, it's true. It's true what you're saying. It says, there was a girl who was upside down. I'm assuming that that's probably Kaylee. It says, and quickly, again, something just happened. So it's talking about how quickly something happened or how quickly it went through. You get what I'm saying? Again, guys, this is all saying, and it happened quickly. It had to have happened quickly. So that's why they're upside down. Let's see what else she says. Talks about something being delayed. And let's see what that was. It says no more health, no more energy. It says upside down. So even, no more fear, no more nothing. I mean, they always do this. And again, upside down. Saying like right place, right time, I guess, or wrong place, right time, kind of the same thing, but in the right place now. And then it says money. So I don't know if they're saying something about money. It says, but a relationship upside down. So it continues to talk about it. Another one that talks about the relationship. So my question is, and just kind of, bear with me. Why would each one of these people who have passed keep bringing up a relationship that they thought was going to be okay, and then something happened? I mean, it's not me. I know that for a fact. I want to figure out what happened. It says, and then it says, in their home. And then their home, it says, temptation came, or evil. It says, and they had no opportunity. It said it was a struggle, a battle. So you might be right. She may be the one that had some defensive wounds. So it talks about, the struggle. And then it says, and then a new beginning, I guess, death. It says, and she was left upside down. So there you go. So the other one was Kaylee, and this one was Madison. I'm assuming they were in the same room, like you like that's what you think, Tony, right?
Yeah. I have a feeling they were just hanging out, watching TV or something, and they probably dozed off because it was getting late and all that. And that's probably when, he went in, probably got Kaylee first, and then went after Madison. My theory, me talking.
Right. And I kind of in the cards, it's kind of what it's saying. There was defensive wounds, and then she was taken upside down. But then again, she could have been, if they were in separate rooms, he could have killed Kaylee and then came for Madison. And when he came in, she was already up, and then she had to fight him off too. But who knows? So that's another question. But she's given us vague details because it's probably pretty hard to be specific. It says then everything came to an end. It said patience, but no true love, like waiting, but no love, no true love. It talks about no true love again. So like talking about that, he was patient. It seemed like he was patiently waiting, but he didn't really love her. It said he took advantage of her. He took the opportunity. It says that way there wouldn't be any obstacle. Like he knew it was like the perfect time. It's talking about the perfect time. It says, and so they weren't able to triumph. Like they weren't able to get away from it. Like he caught him in the perfect moment, perfect time. I don't know, because he caught him when they were sleeping, right? The only problem is we don't know who was sleeping yet. I'm assuming the couple had to have been asleep. That to me, that just makes sense. Because, one, he had to stab one first. That one goes, or whatever they do because she just got stabbed. The other one's going to wake up, and then that's why she had the defensive wounds. So I'm assuming that. But this is what they're telling me, like, they didn't have a chance. So they must have been asleep. Which doesn't make sense to me because there was still phone calls at 2:45. Unless the killer was the one making the calls. I mean, what that would be like the perfect alibi, right? You leave your home, you ping yourself, like...
Yeah, you leave your phone behind, and all you got to say is, I was asleep, I missed the phone calls, and it's a perfect... They're going to believe you because it's a time where people are asleep.
So then, here's this. Here's one thing that I think we don't have a piece to that would kind of like change things. They say that she was making frantic calls. The only way you could determine a frantic call is if someone left a message saying, "Oh my God, help us!" But if it was Jack that was hurting them, right, then she wouldn't be able to make the call frantically. Now, the only option would be that the way they interpreted, because she kept calling back, that was frantic like that.
And then ask Madison.
And there was really no message left or anything. They were just frantically calling and calling. That would be one thing. So that's an interesting little key point, right? All right, let's go.
That phone is key.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It says now in the future, no longer happy. It's not happy. It says no roads to go down anymore. No more lovers. Like, oh God, they always complain. It says, but she still feels like she's here. So Madison still feels like she's here. It says, even though there's no depression, everything's upside down. Like, I trip out on this shit. It says angry. So she's here because she's angry. And so we know that some spirits, when they are killed, they kind of stick around because they want revenge. They're like not content. They want to find a way to get their killer. She probably didn't deserve to die or had anything to do with this. And she was probably what would you call that? A collateral damage, which is interesting. So she's a little pissed off as a spirit, which is really kind of interesting. It says things that were incomplete are left incomplete. It says there were choices that could have been made. It says they could have got back together. I mean, they could have reconciled. There was choices here. It's talking about, again.
That card's been big.
Big. That card's huge. They could have reconciled. It says, but he was an angry man. So was he angry that the parents didn't know anything? Was he that jealous guy? Why was he angry? Maybe he was angry because she went out. And she was, it said in the last time, was it Jack's reading? That he was still boning her.
Yes.
Like he was still having sex with her. Kaylee's, she was still having sex with him. And so, come on, like, you're having sex with the person you want to be with, and then they tell you, I'm going out tonight with my girls. Wow. Like, yeah, you really want to get back together. It says a woman, and then it says, and there's my card. So it's talking about the mom, like the mom, the angry man, and then it talks about the mom, like she didn't know. And then my card pops up, so it's kind of saying, like, yeah, I'm like right on it, which is interesting. It talks about blocked, and here's the knives again, but the road wide open. It says, didn't deserve to die, but not really dead. So say not dead, there's God. And so I guess there must be supreme being, because that's what they're talking about, not really dead with God. And then it says, and things become very clear with that. Things are clear now. And I return to love. It says, even though I'm upside down, even though I'm dead. So interesting stuff. That says a lot.
Maybe he has anger issues.
That's what I'm thinking. I think he was very jealous. He had to have been, because we all agreed she was a little out of his league, right? It says, interesting. It says the things, there's like all these different things that were in the motion of works. It says there's no change with that. It says opportunities for love, and there was triumph. Talking about things spiritually now that come to change, like things that are in the works. She's talking about opportunities for triumph spiritually, but things haven't worked out that way. So real difficult when you're in the spirit world. I know that sounds kind of crazy to all of you, but not easy to get a grip when you first pass, because you're just a thing of energy. You're like an energy that's floating around and zaps in and out of different places. So to learn to ground that is really difficult. That's kind of what she's saying. Haven't had triumph yet, like haven't been able to figure it all out yet. It does say that in the circle of life, there's fortune. It says, even though they came to cut off my head, and basically saying that, she was killed, it says my soul is still traveling. It says, and someday I'll return, like really return, start again, like born again. It says, and then it says, rest assured, it says, I'll find a new relationship, or I'll find different relationships with opportunities. Like things will be different, things will be better. I guess when you die young, it's like you have regret. Like I wasn't supposed to die yet. I had a lot I wanted to do, right? I mean, I think that's how you would feel.
She's still miss out on a lot.
She still hasn't given up a lot of information, but she does give up a lot of similar stuff to what everybody's saying in the cards here. It says the sun shines. It says from the burden. And now there's a celebration. In other words, no more burden on her back, no more nothing. It talks about returning. It says returning one day to a man who was upside down. It says not a fool anymore. So it talks about this man's going to return. I don't know what they're talking. I don't know if they're talking about Jack or she's talking about Jake, but it just does say no karma. So Jake was not involved. He's not a fool. He wouldn't do something like that. You asked that question. Was Jake involved with the murder? No. But he's upside down now. Like,
yeah, we're almost out of cards. There's still no phone call to Jack.
Still no phone call to Jack. But who knows? I mean, I still have a card to put in the middle here. Plus, I have her card, which is interesting. Boom, destruction. So this kind of destroyed Jake. Like this, I mean, that's a pretty hard thing to take, that the person you're seeing or you're with is dead all of a sudden. So yeah, talks about destroyed. You guys ready for this? So this is the last card, and you want to know, what do you have left? So we asked, did Madison call Jack? We haven't seen that yet. Was she in the room with Kaylee? Doesn't say directly she was in the room with Kaylee, but the way she's explaining it happened quickly. I think they were. I have a feeling they were. It only makes sense. Girls usually do that shit, right? You come home
they've
from
been hanging out all night together, and I have a feeling they were
maybe, but maybe not.
Watching TV. I was going with just watching Netflix.
It's just not direct.
No Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
No Netflix and chill.
Oh.
Just straight Netflix. Okay,
all right. Go. So here she is. This is Madison, and we're going to see. It says she had no chance to defend herself, so there's no defense. It says, and she says, there was nothing I could do. Like, my hands are up. Like she tried to, breathe or whatever, but there's nothing she could do. It says, and hardship hit. Like, hardship. It says, I was too weak. I wasn't strong enough. It says, in this world, at least, I wasn't strong enough, but I am now. She talks about, and there's broken heart, and those swords through the heart. So I don't know if she was stabbed in the heart. She may have been, because that's the quickest way to kind of take someone out, I think, or cut their neck. But it talks about heart, and then it talks about things that are left incomplete, or that were left incomplete. It says this man. Here, look at time out. I'm just gonna say it again.
Time out.
In Jack's reading, he was green. In Jack's one, he was green.
Oh yeah.
And now here we go. It says things incomplete about Jack. There's things that you don't know about Jack. It says things that he may not have mastered, things that you can't master, you can't figure. Like maybe he was all over the place because he was he was angry. There was evil. There was temptation there. It says hasn't been brought to his knees, or hasn't been brought to his knees. It says but alone. It says, and then it brings up the money. Does this guy have money? We need to find out. Because if Madison was worth about 50 or 100K, you said, right?
Yeah.
Her net value as a college kid, where are these kids coming from, right? Because it talks about money. But what is the deal with the money? Was it not about money? It just said this was done alone. So this is one person, guys. This isn't two killers. This is one killer. One killer did it all. I don't know how they can live with themselves. I don't know how they feel. Is it a serial killer? Is it from the outside? There's a lot of information here that's coming around. So it doesn't really jive with me. And anyways, to get completely clean, if it was Jack and he had to get completely clean, I mean, he would have to miss something. Even washing off all that blood if it was him, that's not easy to do.
And it's a lot of blood. 4 bodies with the knife.
But there was an empty room. What if he kept spare stuff in there?
I get that, but he would have to leave tracks, footprints, handprints. There would have to be a lot of shit, unless he had the room already set up with plastic, like we just saw in that one movie. I mean, I'm just saying, there's just a lot here, but she doesn't give a lot of info.
She didn't give a lot of info.
She didn't really give a lot of info, so we need to pick somebody. You guys need to help me pick somebody that's going to give a lot more info.
I got the roommates' names.
You do?
We already wrote them down.
Yeah,
We've been having them.
So we need to think who we want to do.